A short history of the World War II. Welcome to this video, where we will explore a short history of World War II, one of the most devastating conflicts in human history, which lasted from 1939 to 1945. Throughout this video, we will take a closer look at the events that led to the war, the key players, and the impact it had on the world. The seeds of World War II were sown in the aftermath of World War I, as Europe struggled to rebuild and deal with the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty placed full blame for the war on Germany, saddling the country with huge reparations payments and territorial losses. In the years that followed, Germany faced economic turmoil, political unrest, and a sense of national humiliation. It was in this environment that Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party rose to power, promising to restore Germany's former glory and to right the perceived wrongs of the Treaty of Versailles. At the same time, other countries were experiencing their own struggles. In Italy, Benito Mussolini and his fascist party took control, while in the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin consolidated power. Japan, too, was seeking to expand its empire in Asia. By the late 1930s, tensions were rising as Germany began to rearm and expand its territory, annexing Austria and parts of Czechoslovakia. The policy of appeasement, adopted by Britain and France to avoid conflict, ultimately failed as Hitler continued his aggressive expansionism. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. This marked the beginning of World War II. Within weeks, Poland was defeated, and the war continued to spread across Europe. In 1940, Germany launched a series of stunning victories, conquering Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. Meanwhile, Britain stood alone, facing the onslaught of the German Air Force, known as the Luftwaffe, in the Battle of Britain. Across the Atlantic, the United States initially remained neutral, though it provided crucial aid to the Allies through the Lend-Lease program. However, the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan in December 1941 brought the United States into the war, forever changing its course. In the East, Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, a decision that would ultimately prove disastrous for Hitler's ambitions. The Soviet Union's Red Army put up a fierce resistance, ultimately turning the tide of the war in the brutal Battle of Stalingrad. In the Pacific, the United States and its allies fought a series of island-hopping campaigns against Japan, culminating in the Battle of Midway, which marked a crucial turning point in the war. Back in Europe, the tide began to turn against Germany as the Allied forces, including the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, pushed back against the Axis powers. The Allies launched a massive invasion of Normandy in June 1944, known as D-Day, which marked the beginning of the end for Hitler's Third Reich. As the Allies closed in on Germany, Hitler's regime began to unravel. In April 1945, Soviet forces entered Berlin, and Hitler committed suicide in his underground bunker. Germany officially surrendered on May 7, 1945, marking the end of the war in Europe. In the Pacific, the war continued as the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, leading to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. The world was forever changed by the conflict, as millions of lives were lost and entire cities were left in ruins. The Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews and millions of others were systematically murdered by the Nazis, stands as one of the darkest chapters in human history. In the aftermath of the war, the world entered into a new era, as the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers and began a decades-long rivalry known as the Cold War. The United Nations was established to promote international cooperation and prevent future conflicts, while Europe began the long process of rebuilding and healing from the scars of war. As we remember the events of World War II, we must strive to learn from its lessons and work towards a future of peace, understanding, and cooperation between nations. If you enjoyed this short history video, don't forget to follow or subscribe to Pixel Facts. Until next time, enjoy your life.